Hello there. Let's get into a general reading about the divine masculine and the divine feminine. What would he say to you? What would be his initial thoughts, response to you, right? If you said you loved him. If you said you loved him, if you said, I love you, okay, what would his first words and what would his reaction be? We're going to get a spread here to see about what he would feel about that, those words that you tell him, okay? What are his first initial words, his thoughts, even if he has a response, okay? What would he say? What would he think? All right, so please like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts with me below, okay? Let's begin. If you want to book a personal reading, follow the description box below. All right, and let's get right into it. Thank you for all the love and support. Let's see what we got. The Temptation card. So this is somewhat the same as the Devil. Okay, card number 15. We have the Wheel of Fortune, another major arcana, card number 10. All right, that's pretty, okay, weird. Then we have the Ace of Swords, air energy, and then the Fool, major arcana, number 0, the Fool's Journey. I keep seeing this Empress here. Aries, number 3. So I get someone who, the first thing I get is like he would be someone who would fake, try to hold back his smile. This person would be wanting to smile very, 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 very much. Like he'd just be like damn. Like, so initially, right off the bat, he would want to say, I love you too. Okay? Very quick, because he understands you. You two are twin flames. But he wouldn't. He would revert, he would hide that, and his head would become inflamed. Something like that. All right? From any extent, from like 0 to 100, he wouldn't appreciate it, though. He'll go right back to being like, no, you can't do that. You can't say that. That's not fair. Like, that's not part of the game. That's not what we do here. You know what I mean? Like, he would immediately run away and kind of hide. Because this temptation card is part of the Devil. It's one of the aspects of the Devil. You know, because he won't believe you. He thinks that you're just trying to get into his pants. He thinks that you're trying to lock him down in a very unhealthy sense, because let's clarify this temptation, shall we? That is way over there, but it's the 9 of Pentacles and it's sitting upright. Oh God. 1 second, guys. Jeez, the thing just flew. Alrighty, we're back in action. So here we have, sorry about that, guys. We have the 9 of Pentacles. It fell upright. All right, Earth energy. Yeah, because he doesn't believe you. And we have Ace of Pentacles. So with the whole prudent, self-sufficient, independent woman, don't need a man, just gets everything and does everything on her own. Not that he doesn't think you need him, but in love, there's a team thing. There's a team effort here. It's a woman who wants to be a part of a man and share the assets with that man that she embarks on, or that she's embellished. You know, everything that she has and everything that she is, she wants to share with a man. This is the quite complete opposite of that. It's because he wouldn't believe you. So that would explain his smile at first and then saying, no, fuck that. You know what I mean? No, fuck you. I see what you're trying to do here. You know what I mean? That kind of vibe. So that's why he wouldn't believe you. And that's what I figured. I figured he wouldn't believe you. But the smile of him believing and, of him wanting to believe it off rip was his first response, and wanting to say I love you too comes from his heart, which is of temptation. Okay, because the heart is a strong, it's a powerful vessel. It's able to withhold and store many, 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 many emotions, but all of the deepest emotions. This is where the divine masculine reigns. That's why you would assume why all of them, or the majority of them, are in relationships right now, because they represent the soul, at least as whereas their most keen senses rely on their soul part of the body. And I believe that their soul, majority of them, at least some of them, it reigns in their heart. And then their spirituality, their free spirit remains in their head, or vice versa, whoever you're watching for. Do you understand? Can't really, narrow that down for a general reading on who's who. But I do want to say that, because you're twin flames, they can understand where feelings and words and thoughts come from, whether it's from your heart or from your head. Either of which will scare this man away into knowing that this isn't something that's going to last very long, because they know you. They know you. They know that you're not someone who, it's not always a negative thing not to be a team player. You're just a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, perhaps a Taurus, fixed energy, who likes to do things on her own and take her own credit and take her own advice. She does things on her own right now. It's not to say that you won't jump out of that and want to be able to share your assets with people, because one of the major things about this Nine of Pentacles, though, is her positive aspects, is that she shares her knowledge and her well-being and her wealth, how she's able to maintain an independent, self-sufficient life on her own. That's one of the things that she'll do with that Nine of Pentacles. But she is prudent, she is single, and she'd rather be. So he thinks it's temptation, because one of the main reasons is he thinks that you're just trying to lock him down and that's a negative sense. Lock him down with no means of loving and being and having an equal give and take. Okay, so but we know that his first his first response would have been to smile like a little child and be like, wow, like be flattered that this woman loves me, this woman who has everything, who's perfect, who does things on her own. So imagine from that perspective of someone who does things in team efforts, maybe because they need to, for all good and bad reasons, sees that someone who doesn't need people wants them. You know what I mean? So he just sees it as, not that you don't need him, it's that he sees it that if you did have him, that he would just be, he doesn't know. I think honestly he doesn't know, because this could say that you'd be someone of this temptation, or someone of this, like, I was going to say, this bound to something that you don't know. So it's like, when you see this person, sometimes I think he may think, what are you working for? What do you want so much for? Why do you work so hard, and for what? What do you build and build and build to do what? Because it's like, you're not living in a castle or anything. You can see the tight spaces and everything there. But so it's almost like he doesn't know where he will end up with you. He knows that he'll end up somewhere, but if it's a deep, dark abyss, he's not in for it. You see these two people are being squashed and scoundered by this, like, big, giant beast who's weighing them down. And there's like a bag of money in his lap. And so I don't think, for any of you, you could be earth signs, you could be very into money, you may even be out of a job. Doesn't matter. He just feels like what you could do for him, especially, like, okay, he doesn't believe that if you say you love him, that it's like, I want to suck you and eat you alive. Like, no, it's like he doesn't believe that you have, let's just be honest, that you have the, your tools for a relationship are not sharpened. Okay, so he knows you love him and he loves you too, but if he is to come into this union with you, or if he is to, like, entertain that, he feels like the entertainment would not necessarily just go thus far, but let's get another card for that, because there's something I'm trying to say let's clarify this temptation. We got the Ten of Cups. How funny. The water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And at the top of the deck, the Four of Swords, air. So needing meditation and time to think. Judgment. I just get that even though that's a beautiful card, it can be very well tainted. I think creating with you in this energy of which is real, that you are in. He doesn't just feel that because you're twin flames. It's something that's there. You have one heightened sense in one area, so you can understand his energy, and then he has a heightened sense in one area where he can understand your energy. You know what I mean? It feeds back and forth. It's a mirror. It's so if he indulges in that, he'll be somewhere that may not benefit him, and he'll be stuck there. He will be stuck there. He will be. Because it's like this is where he's supposed to be, but you could damn well end up somewhere that you may not be able to get out of. Okay, it could end up being a karmic situation. The High Priestess for the Ten of Cups, I said. All right, so what I'm getting now that I got the High Priestess, you two are twin flames, but it's almost like let's move forward, okay? And then I'll be able to come back to it, the Judgment. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Wands. So I feel like he won't feel equipped for what love you have to bring. Okay, that's it. Equipped, not ready, not able to handle. But it's like, because this guy's, pedaling. He's putting the pedal to the metal and already receiving good karma and good luck if he were to move forward. But when you say you love him, I think he feels like he has to amount to something. He has to put in a certain amount of work that he may not be equipped for, or may not, be, amount to. I don't think he feels like love should be that hard. Love ain't always complicated, or like you shouldn't have to work like that. And it will like end you up here. So it's like he almost gets a glimpse of it or something. Very icky. This is very, I don't like this. King of Wands works with people. These two cards signify work that needs to be put in. One where they're doing it themselves and coming to completions. The other where they're having others do it for them. He would have to call upon his networks and his people and his friends, his family, if his kids, he would have to call upon, like, resurrect the dead almost in order to make this work, is what he feels like. But the positive note is that, he will benefit. He will get, something out of it. He will get love out of it. He will get, but I see this uncertainty. I see an uncertainty of like where you guys will be, how long you'll be together, how long you'll want to be with him. I get like a major, it's almost like he knows your love will die. That's just kind of like his doubt. He just has this major doubt. He knows that he can, make a family with you. He wants to be able to make a family with you. He knows that you two will end up sticking with one another, but at what costs? And I don't think he wants that sort of ultimatum. Okay? He wants an equal give and take, and it looks like he's going to be the one putting in the most work. Let's clarify this Ace of Swords. Let me put these two back. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords. Alright, fine. Oh boy. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, the Hierophant in reverse, and the Nine of Wands in reverse. So again, it's kind of like that, I love you, I want this with you, I know we can have a beautiful, happy family, but behind the scenes, mommy and daddy aren't, we are slaving, literally slaving. He feels like once you say that, he imagines a life with you and he's slaving. He has to some of us are going to say be a man, but what is being a woman? Because I don't see anything here that a woman's got to do, and you're the one saying I love you. So don't just give him the whole entire role, because both of you are going to have to go down in it. It's 50-50, equal give and take is what he wants, and I don't think he feels like he's going to get that with you. An equal give and take, being that you're this independent woman, so you'll just kind of give them a list of things to do and have them go off and do it. So a lot of us may be in karmic situations right now, so take from what you need to learn from that and then be able to move forward. But we got the Queen of Pentacles, some more earth energy, right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and this is someone who has got her riches. This is someone who she's an alpha female, right? We know that. She can stand on her own. She's someone who can have her alone time and still be okay, bounce back, go to work, make up the bed, clean the house, cook, go to the kids' soccer games. I mean, she's a wife and she's a mother and she's her own person, okay? Then we have the Six of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is a representation of a twin flame card for sure. But I love it at an innocent point of which we haven't tried anything yet, because when you know that you're ready is when you don't have to put in any effort and things just happen. Sometimes we experience very long moments of silence, since we're clarifying this Ace of Swords, air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We experience that, so we try to put in the work, we try to put in the force and start working for something that's not naturally happening. Because if we see one end and one, it's kind of like every time we feel like we've excelled, we kind of dip right back into our memory pool or into our spiritual bank, and we still see that there has been no improvement. So then we still try to force that. But this is reminding you, right, as it's a memory. Sorry about that. As it's a memory reading. Does that make sense? If a memory reading. It's a thought. It's a going down memory lane. But also it's knowing that even if you've met them or not, that this comes natural. It's something you don't have to try. It could come from any point of your lives, and whether it had been traumatic or very positive. You didn't have to try. You didn't even. You know what I mean? You don't even remember praying for it, but you wanted it, and that's that. So, but anyway, this talks about abundance and manifestations, love, synchronicities, natural bonding, the purest form of butterflies when you love, lust, like. It's an equal balance of everything. It's equal, and I think that's just a reminder of kind of where you guys know you can be, but you're not there right now. So when you say I love you, I get for some of you, you kind of throw it out there to them, or you're kind of quick with it. And this talks about, especially to those who have just said that, hoping for some sort of change, that you may not realize that you're putting a lot of pressure on someone else who wants to be someone for you. And you may not realize that, because you may not realize that they even have any feelings for you, that they're not here to reassure you of. You come with what you've got, and then you kind of see where you go from there. You don't say, here, will you take this? Will you take that? Will you take this? Will you take that? But anyway, I don't think that's mainly what's going on here, but for some of you that may, mean something. The Hierophant in reverse is like basically feeling trapped, feeling conformed to society, wanting to conform to society, wanting to do other than what your belief systems are, wanting to do things that, let's just call it blasphemy. This is someone who feels imprisoned, conforming to society. I like to think of this person as an instigator, because they know so much. They use those powers or their knowledge to fuck situations up. All right, that's really what I believe there, and they're very still stubborn in what they know and what they believe, and this is more of that earth energy. So earth energy is really creeping on to us about what this person, about what your divine masculine or divine feminine believes that you will be in a relationship with them. They see 10 of Cups with you, though. They see this harmony, perfect balance. They see happy families, joined families, your own kids. They see perfect balance, love, harmony, and money all in one, and in a balance. That's a vision that they have. But what they feel and what they know, because of where you two even are right now and how you two are taking care of one another, even in spiritual aspects, even when you see each other or not, or just what they feel. This is also another mirage, we can say, when you say I love you, that's kind of just what they feel. It's like, oh, no, but at first, obviously, they have to be like, yo, the temptation will even spark an interest in you. It will put you in overdrive. You won't think twice about what you feel, regardless of temptation or not. Temptation is just like a spur of the moment, sporadic kind of feeling, which may lead on his beliefs of believing that you guys right now aren't in any good shape. I'm sorry. But anyway, so now we have the Nine of Wands in reverse too. So fire energy. This is like a ruthlessness. I think these two cards signify instigator. Give me 1 second. And then Ace of Pentacles. And then it's all clarifying this communication. So you try to come at all different angles. I think, honestly, it's like this person doesn't trust you. No, this person wants to trust you, but can't trust you, but trusts you. Okay. More pentacle energy, and it's all because of your aspect, not what you have. It's about, even if you do have things, how you're about it. Some of them may not like the way you dress. Some of them may not like the way your cleanliness, how you do your hair, how independent you are. It's a great thing. I think they love that about you. But in this, remember, if this is what you want, if this is what you're saying, this is what it has to look like. And you're pretty holding tight to that chair handle, and the other one's holding on to an animal. But you're not equal give and take here, and that's what they want. They don't believe that. So they think that you would be a great mother, a great wife in an aspect. They think you would be someone great to put in front of a podium if you guys got together. But as far, and take great care of the kids, they don't think that you'd have their best interest. They don't think you'd be able to keep their secrets. They don't think you'd be patient with them. They don't think that you'd communicate well with them, that you would just easily give up. So they immediately go right into like the future with you. It's something that may be positive for you to know. You could be aggressive, okay? You could be someone who gets very aggressive and like your physical, and you may not even know that. But they seem to know a lot more about you a lot more about your, your energies than you do, okay? So they understand soul. They understand soul ties, because they live and they feel there. You think there, okay? You think soul ties. They feel soul ties. You feel spirit, because you're very, like the Fool card we're about to clarify, you're very spiritual, free spirit. I like to talk about that show called Spirit. It's a cartoon for kids. It's a horse. But it's like, spirit. You run wild, you run free. So that's how you feel. So when you bestow love on somebody, it's kind of just here, it's there, it's sporadic, just like how this girl's hair is, or just her whole demeanor. She's here and she's there, she's everywhere. Getting for her, making sure she's good, because that's probably all she can do. So if you are in a relationship with them, they don't feel like, at least right now in this 3D energy, that you two would be able to amount to much. Okay, this penny bag right there is owned by whomever else. You both are like slaves right now, and that's what it looks like. You two would slave for your assets and for your this and for your that. They do believe that you would be able to hold up the family branch. You're very strong like that. But just as far as you and your kids, now what's that about? That you're not able to also take care of another person, male or female. Let's clarify this Fool card. 10 of Wands, fire energy, and I feel like I want to get like one more. Okay, and the 6 of Pentacles, earth energy. More earth with the 4 of Pentacles, kind of just focusing on yourself and what you can do. I get that some of you may be single contractors, or you're not making good money, or you just stick at a job you're good at, or something about also your money. It's not just about it, but something also about your money, since this earth energy is creeping through, is not certain. All right. Now with the Fool card, new faith and journeys and having strength and like moving on to new place and things. He sees that about you, or she sees that about you, and that you're very adventurous, that you're someone who doesn't mind, moving, relocating, all or nothing, baby. But again, this energy had like kind of like a mean definition about it, at least to what he thinks, because temptation is hovering that. It's almost like you work so hard, you do so much just to leave and slave and do more, so they know that you're going to bring them down with you in that mentality of being, being a nomad has been my recent word for these past like 3 or 2 days. Being a nomad, having to have new home everywhere, create new like things that shouldn't be played with. It's almost like you play with stability, and you're strong enough to rebuild your foundation, but I don't think he understands why you break it down to begin with, and then you kind of treat everyone, this is a positive card too, you treat everyone like peasants. You'll come back like, so I think he thinks you'll treat him like that. You'll treat your kids with the utmost respect. You'll make sure that you take care of them up until the point that you can, and you may even end up leaving them behind. Wow, that's what he feels, that you may even end up leaving them behind. And then you come back every once in a while to give them a little bit and kind of show off what you've done and what you've accomplished. Little do you know, but they know that this is just a defect, something broken within you. Okay, that you're not so fond of being a team player. You're not. Okay, you'll be if it means that you get to bestow pain on others or show others what you're made of, because you're not able to show them face to face, so you'll do it behind their backs. That's the only way you know how to be successful. Okay? Is doing it alone. So they understand that. Doing it alone is how you are able to find love. It looks like they know that you're always searching for the next best thing, but you're always searching on how you keep looking for ways to be in love. But everybody that's come your way that, could have loved you, you shit on. Let me get something else for this 10 of Wands and the 6 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands and 6 of Pentacles. Golly. Hold on, guys. Okay. So we have the King of Swords, everyone. The King of Swords. And I don't know how I saw it, but I saw it where I could see the... So I think it was upright. It was kind of twisted and bent. And then we have the 8 of Cups. So this is all in the mind, right? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, right? And I was saying in my previous video to this one about how the divine feminine in her dome is where the soul lies, is where fixed energy and desires and needs and wants, and this is how I have to do it. Very articulate, maybe OCD. Okay. Obsessive compulsion disorder definitely is in your mind, is where that relies in. For the divine masculine, his OCD relies in his heart, of how he feels, of how he's going to bestow that love on someone. Is probably why they're very, very possessive. Now, we have a lot of zodiac signs who are all possessive. We all are possessive. But this is what's going to really come out of you when you've met your twin flame, is that possessiveness, of which it relies in your heart or in your head. So it looks like the divine feminine's soul, whereas OCD reigns is in your head, is in your dome. This is where you start to feel all of these things. This is where you start to become fickle, or start to, be non-committal, etc. And with that, clarifying the 10 of Wands, you rebuilding home, being humble, having to rebuild what it is that you've broken in the past or just a few days ago. And then also trying to rebuild it by giving back to those you don't know, those you do know, those you have left, going on to your new future, discarding those who were a part of your past. It seems like that's just the way that you operate. And when you tell this person he loves you, he gets a glimpse of all of the non-committal issues that they're going to have to go through. They're going to feel like they have to do everything themselves, at least to promote their well-being. Okay, so I'm not going to predict anything. That's just how they feel right now, but in the 3D. But the 5D consistently tells them not only that, you two can have it naturally, you two can have it a different way, and that you two can have this and be harmonious. 10 of Cups talks about perfect harmony, kids and family, friends. Obviously nothing's perfect to your standards of which you two can be together forever and until everlasting. And the money is a good thing too. I was going to pull out the Queen of Pentacles. So this is a wife and a mother. So, and finding the balance between the two. But it looks like the Divine Feminine is too caught up in her fixed nature, her OCD of the way that she maneuvers, the way that she thinks. Okay? Take it how it applies, okay? Because some of the Divine Masculines may be the one who thinks solely in the head and spiritually in the heart. Okay, and they just kind of love everybody, and they love you know what I mean? They only talk to, just take that how it applies. We're not going to go too deep into that, but also we have the Queen of Swords. So it looks like, I want to take that out, okay? This thing's first. So we have the King, the 8, and the Queen of Swords, 8 of Cups. Before we close out, he understands you. So for these groups of people who resonate, your divine partner, whether it's a male or a female, their energy is of someone who his heart is soul-like. So that means, again, like they're possessive, they can be extra OCD. They're just very, particular in the people that they can love. So they don't love outside of their range. If this person has sex a lot, they're not making love to them as they would have made love to you, okay? They're very selective with the people that they let in, okay, in their hearts, you know what I'm saying? And then in their minds, they are very, open to all sorts of things, as a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius would. So they're very open to, knowing this person, knowing that, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. That's so creepy, cringy. But that's it. And for the Divine Feminine, or for those who resonate with the reading, and it's yourself, you're someone who's spiritually inclined in the heart. So the way you can love multiple people, you can love this, you can love that, you can love them, you can love, a bunch of people, but in your mind, you only let certain people in your mind where the soul lies, okay? I hope this kind of sorts of makes sense. You're very, let's say, OCD in your head, so the mind is not capable of loving. It's capable of knowing, it's capable of ultimately knowing, okay? And so if your soul lies there, the OCD, compulsive disorder, the fixed ways of doing things, in your soul relies it there. It talks about how, here we go, the 8 of Cups, love, being able to love, right? Because you still do have, your heart chakras activated, right? You still do have that opportunity to love, even if you're a water sign or not. You could even be an air sign, but it's the balance. We all have we have all chakras, but just because the root chakra may or may not be activated doesn't mean that parts of it that's going to make it function aren't. Some of them are broken, but you still have a piece of which remains for that major root chakra to be activated. But anyway, it talks about you leaving and abandoning any love, any people, okay? Because your mind is not capable of loving. It's only capable of knowing what you can do, all right? And all you know that you can do for those who resonate is love for a little bit and then leave, because where your heart lies, your root chakra, it's not activated, but a part of it is, and that's your spirituality. It's free spirit. Your dome is what's binded, whereas the divine masculine's bind is in his heart. So he can love you indefinitely. You can only love for a certain amount of time, but you'll always love them, but you'll always love a lot of people. But what's set and certain for this divine feminine is that she will be here, she will be there. She only knows how to, let's just say it and put it together, only knows how to love herself, only knows how to love for that certain amount of time as far as it's convenient for her. Okay? So this is something that, this is why it starts off with temptation, is that the divine masculine is aware of. And he can be, not only because of past trauma, because I don't want everyone to think that you all remind him of his mother, because that's not necessarily always the case. You know what I'm saying? Some of them had grandmothers, and you still don't remind them of them. But, you know, regardless, you know, definitely you could. A majority of you, yes. But I'm just saying, this is what he sees right now. Okay? Mirror, you both connect. Okay? So you both have soul, you both have spirit, right? But you can pin it to trauma. Let's just make it a little more precise, and that's how they know that you're that person that can unfold or release triggers that we're all afraid of, you know, because of those ties and those binds that we have wherever they may lie. All right, before we close out, let me see. Okay, the Hanged Man. So for the divine feminine, you know, this is kind of like an advice card, is to let free, let be, let go. And this is all in the mind. This Hanged Man has to do with the mind, and releasing any blocks, latches, karmic fields, karmic debts, so that you're able to release some of that obsessive compulsive disorder that you feel the twin flame journey in the most. You don't feel the twin flame journey here. You feel it in your head, for those who will resonate with this. That's where your soul, that's where your attachment to this person is. You have the dreams, you have the anxiety, the paranoia, all of that is all up in your head. That's in your head, not in your heart. And, you know, we don't have a King of Cups here, so let's not talk about how we're emotionally balanced. But we do have the Six of Cups, which is trying to, and the Ten of Cups, which is trying to remind us of what we do have, and that this is real. Okay, and what he does or she does want with you, but doesn't feel like they can get. You understand? Let's say it like an object. And then the Hanged Man is letting go and letting God, or letting go and letting your divine, your spirits, multiple positive messages run through, because when you're obsessive and, you know, in your compulsive disorder, it's a lot of negativity. Remember, we're all having nightmares, dreams, anxiety, paranoia. Oh my God, 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 oh my God. That's not positive. And then we can start feeling depressed, feeling the different negative aspects because of what's going on in our brains. And I feel like their divine partner can relate to that, not only if they're an air sign or whatever's, you know, what do I want to say? Whatever's spot on for you in your journey, all the synchronicities, you know, and all of the you know, everything that is custom made and customized for your journey, you can say, but they don't have to be air or anything like that. But you'll know that helps you in your journey. These are tools. These are divine helping you, and it's saying that they understand, because whereas, okay, for an example, you, if you resonate with this, your soul relies in the brain, theirs relies in their heart, so they know what anxiety feels like to love. They know what anxiety feels. So imagine where they are, but they can't profess their love to you, because they don't feel like it will be reciprocated, because yours is spirit. You would only love them for a certain amount of time. You would only have a certain physical high or spiritual high for a certain amount of time. They are relied in the soul. You cannot know what that feels like. You can only know what it feels like to be emotionally stuck, having anxiety. You two only understand each other in this temptation. Not just, oh, I'm tempted to fuck. Like in this, you know, devil energy. You guys are only matching or resonating on the 3D and mainly in the 3D because of the pain that you suffer. Spiritual guides here, especially when you're inclined to them, not just your ancestors, but your spiritual guides are those who guide you along because they understand your pain and suffering. So I hope that makes sense. But here's card number 12, Major Arcana. All right, and it's talking about how you can allow these divine messages to flow through and get out of your stuck nature in your head so that you can balance spirit and soul within yourself. That partner will follow. They will balance the same time as you do. Remember, we have the Ace of Swords. It could be the ball is in your court. I didn't get the Two of Wands, but I do get, and then the number 9 here, the Hermit. I do get fast-paced change, and what else do we want to do? 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so but I do get that communication is going to be something very important for you once you're able to level up. Another thing I want to say is you both master the same intellect of this nomad-like nature. Okay, because this is what's going to have to happen with between you two. You both are going to have to leave old ways and old thinking behind in order to be together. But I don't think it's, to get this, to stem from this and grow into this. You know what I mean? But so I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you have your own kind of, message that you got from this, I would love to read it below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.